So hello everyone. Thanks for joining already that early and being so punctual. My name is Georgi, and today I will be the host at the same time the moderator of today's webinar. But the main people, main speakers, you can already see on the screen as well. So today's topic is studying sociology and political science in Germany. Very interesting topic, and especially for me, for example, and I'm sure for all those who have already joined. So it's a unique opportunity and great chance for all those who are interested in these topics to ask their questions directly to the representatives of the programs and get the best possible answers, because you cannot get better answer than the representatives themselves. So which is huge opportunity, and I always encourage, and today I also encourage you, dear friends, to ask as many questions as you can, because you shouldn't miss this chance. For all those who are joining us on Facebook, and I already saw some people, if you could do it, please join on Zoom, because here you would have more opportunities in terms of asking your questions and following the chat, etc., etc. Zoom ID is already in the Facebook. Okay, so let me now briefly jump into my presentation, and I will tell you briefly about MyGU, about some interesting facts when it comes to studying in Germany, and then I will present you, dear friends, our speakers and our agenda. Okay, so let me now share with you my screen, just a second. Yeah, and to our attendees, I also came to Germany to do my master's in political science. So I was there where you are now some years ago. So I really feel you. So let me now share with you our screen. Yeah, about MyGermanUniversity, really briefly. So MyGermanUniversity, what you should know about us is that we are Germany's largest database of English taught study programs. So when you go to our webpage, to mygermanuniversity.com, you will see that we have over 2,300 programs available for you, not only in bachelor's, but also for master's. And we've recently also opened up these options of short courses and language courses, which is also quite interesting for students. So you're always welcome to enter our website and navigate through it. And our main goal is to help international students like you and like me, once when I was like that, so to come to Germany on their way to studying in Germany. So actually, one of the ways of helping students is our study finder, which I mentioned. So our database of over 2,300 programs, which has lots of filters and which really helps you to find the best fitting program for you, take into account your interests, your backgrounds, etc., etc. So it makes your life much easier in terms of narrowing down your choice. Another way of helping you is through our articles, which we write for you. So we have more than 70 comprehensive articles on various topics, ranging from most popular cities to scholarships and visa. So you can see on the slide on the left hand side, we have a navigator according to topics, so you can navigate through all the articles and find the ones that you are interested in. So for example, you can see here technical universities, universities, online studies, etc., etc. So it's quite easy to navigate through these articles. And the third way is the one that we are using right now today. So it's webinars. We per year have around 150 webinars, and on various topics like scholarships, universities, visa, or subject webinars like today's one, when we have special guests from German universities and they talk about particular topics. Today, as I said, our broad topic is sociology and political science, but we also have topics like computer science, engineering, etc., etc. And you can see all the upcoming webinars also when you go to our webpage and to the section of webinars, and you can sign up for the future ones. And I will share all these links in the chat. So by the way, regarding the chat, so you cannot use the chat, dear attendees, but I will be sharing some interesting links throughout the webinar. So I would suggest you to keep an eye on the chat. And I would also suggest you to send your questions in the Q&A, which you can see Q&A button in the bottom part of your Zoom interface, and there you can send your questions whenever you want throughout the webinar. It's always open. And please also, whenever you have a question directed at a particular program which is being presented today, please make sure to mention it so that it's easier for us to make a more effective follow-up for you. And yeah, about our team really shortly. So we are based in Hamburg in Germany, but our team is international really. And we are counseling in various languages like English, Spanish, Georgian, Chinese, Russian, Portuguese, and Italian. I'm doing in 3 of these. So yeah, anything that, any question in any language, we are always welcome to help. And yeah, now let me jump into the agenda of today's webinar, the most important part. So we have special guests from 3 German universities presenting 3 programs. So we have Dr. Karin Klenke from University of Göttingen, and she, together with her assistant, will present today's program of MA in Modern Indian Studies. We also have a guest from University of Heidelberg, Marta Rudka, and she will be presenting MA in Communication and Society in Ibero-America. And also our guest from University of Lüneburg, Leuphana University of Lüneburg, Kahl, who will be presenting a program in, again, MA. So today we have 3 MA levels, MA in Public Economics, Law, and Politics. Before we go to this interesting part of our webinar, let me really quickly go through some interesting details when it comes to studying in Germany. So there are 2 databases that I would like you to know about. The first database is for those who are more interested in German taught study programs, I would say. So this is Hochschulkompass. And when you go to Hochschulkompass, you will find, for example, programs related to sociology or political science, you will be able to find 571 programs, and only 77 of them will be in English. But for those, and I suppose this is the biggest part of our audience today, for those who are interested more in English taught study programs, then MyGermanUniversity and our study finder should be your stop. So when you go to our study finder and try to find programs in sociology or political science or related disciplines, you will be able to find 143 English taught study programs. And you will find 16 bachelor and 127 masters. And out of 16 bachelor, 11 will be English only, so with no German language at all, no need for German language at all. And out of 127 master's programs, 108 will be English only, which is really great choice, I would say. Some details, some suggestions, I would say, for those who don't know yet what to expect when it comes to this kind of field of political science or sociology, and they would like to have some general idea of what it feels like or what it looks like to study these fields in Germany. I would like to suggest you to visit our subject pages. So we have subject pages for each subject, and there you can see all the general informations about rankings of universities that are presenting these kind of programs. But what is the range of tuition fees that you would expect if you want to study these programs in Germany? What are the application admission requirements or language requirements? So all this general information just to create an idea of what you would expect, what you should expect when it comes to studying political science and sociology or related fields in Germany. And I will share these links also shortly in the chat. Our tip is, yes, of course, everyone wants to find the best fitting university, right for university profile and study program for her or him. But sometimes students are just guided by fees or just guided by rankings or by city names, which is not always correct, I would say, and I wouldn't really suggest you to do that. Because sometimes, rankings very often, I would say, they don't really capture all the details that are most important for you, as for a student, and yeah, they cannot be the only right guide for you. So, and it's not correct also to expect. I've heard from many students that they know that in Munich and Berlin they're great universities, but it's not true that only in Berlin and Munich they are, because in Germany there are lots of cities, lots of towns with great universities where you can get really high quality education. So don't search for universities just in these 2 cities, let's say. So make your search more broad, because to make sure that you really find the best fitting program for you, and rankings or names of cities or fees are not the most important parts, and I would say the least important parts for your search. just really quickly go through this part as well. So there are two types of universities that I would like you to know about. The first type of university is Universität, or just university in Germany. So, and by the way, when you go to our study finder and you want to filter out some things, you can also filter out for this feature. So you can find only programs that are offered by this type of university. We have this option. And when you go to our study finder and filter out for that, you'll be able to find 111 programs in fields related to political science and sociology, which are offered by Universität type of university. And the second type is University of Applied Science, and you can control, of course, for that as well. And you can only find 8 programs in these subjects in our study finder. So most of the subjects, most of the programs which are related to the subjects presented today, you can find more in the Universität type of university. So you would ask maybe what is the difference, Georgi, when you talk about these two types of universities? When I came to Germany, I also have never heard, I mean, before that, I have never heard about University of Applied Science. So because in my country, it was not that type of university. Of course, it's interesting to know what is the difference. So actually, the main difference I would like you to know about is that when it's come to focus, so if you are more into research and theory, then Universität should be your place. But when it comes to more application and practice, then I would say it's more about University of Applied Sciences. This is the main difference. It's not that some is better or another is worse. It's not like that. Both are really high quality. Both are really great. But yeah, this is the small difference between them that you should know about. And yeah, last but not least, again, when you're searching for programs, I would like to also suggest to you that don't be more flexible in wording when you're searching for a program. For example, you are interested in political science related programs, and you just write political science, then you'll miss lots of programs. For example, it can be some other thing like comparative global public governance or stuff like that, or for international relations, or more specific programs related in the field like we have today. So yeah, be more broad in terms of searching for using your wording during your search, so that you make sure you don't miss the best ideal, right? Really like the best fitting program for you. Okay. So that was all that I wanted to present to you, dear friends. And now let me once again introduce our first special guest from University of Göttingen, as I said, Dr. Karin Klenke, who will be talking about MA in Modern Indian Studies, really interesting program. And you can see on the map that we are now in I would say, more or less in the middle of Germany, which is really interesting. We will travel today a bit to the south and to the north as well. But yeah, now we are in the middle, and I will stop sharing my screen right now. And yeah, the floor is yours, Dr. Klenke.
Yeah, thank you so much, Georgi, for that wonderful introduction. I'm very happy to present the Master in Modern Indian Studies at Göttingen University. And I'm especially happy that one of our MA students, Maithili, is here with us, and she will also answer your questions in case you have any. So first of all, welcome. This is a kind of small glimpse into what life at Göttingen at the Center for Modern Indian Studies looks like. Let me first tell you what we offer. We offer a 2-year interdisciplinary MA program in Modern Indian Studies, which is focused on the social sciences, the humanities, and economics. So CMIS actually bridges 3 faculties in the University of Göttingen. And our professors also come from the different disciplines in these faculties. We have a very stimulating international atmosphere and an outstanding academic environment, not only at CMIS, but also on Göttingen campus. Some of you might know that there are also some non-university research institutions in Germany, which are like the Max Planck Institutes, and Göttingen has numerous Max Planck Institutes, also one on ethnic and religious diversity. So, and this is one of our close cooperation partners. And last but not least, we have a very high quality of life and a safe and beautiful historic university town, which is, as Georgi already mentioned, in the center of Germany. So let me shortly say a few words about the Center for Modern Indian Studies. We were founded 11 years ago by the Ministry of Education and Research in Lower Saxony. And we offer cutting-edge interdisciplinary research and teaching in 5 research groups. These research groups are based on disciplines, although, of course, our research and also the teaching is very interdisciplinary. So we have modern Indian history. The group is headed by Professor Ravi Ahuja, who is a specialist, especially on the history of labor in India. We have comparative religion, which is headed by Professor Rupa Vishwanath, who focuses on caste in India. We have state and democracy, headed by Professor Shrirupa Roy, who mostly works on media, the history of journalism. In India, we have culture and society, headed by Professor Patrick Eisenlohr, and development economics, headed by Professor Sebastian Vollmer. And development economics has a focus on public health. So let me introduce the study program. The MA program that we offer, the interdisciplinary program, focuses on India in its diversity. Of course, we all know that India, I mean, that's also the image that we get when we think about India, is very diverse. It is characterized by social inequalities, and it focuses also on India with its political, social, and economic transformations. But we don't look at India isolated from the rest of the world. We have a very comparative perspective, and we look at India's increasing embeddedness in global and transnational constellations. That means, for example, that we look at populist movements, not only in India, but also in the US and in Turkey, and we have other comparative perspectives. So you have the opportunity to one of the three study foci. You don't have to choose a study foci. You can also study like a very general study program, but you could also either choose Indian economic development, anthropology of power, or the historical sociology of India. Here's a short overview over our program structure. So you have some compulsory courses, which amount to 24 credits. This is mostly interdisciplinary studies of modern India, our introductory module, and it also includes a course on academic writing. Then you have elective modules where you're free to choose whatever is your interest. And these are 54 credits. And it also means that if you do one of the study foci, the 24 credits for the study focus would be in the elective modules. You have a professionalization part, and finally you have the master thesis, which has 30 credits. So you can see in total we have 120 credits that you will get over the course of your studies. What else do we offer? First of all, we have a vast network of partner universities and a very well-funded DAAD, German Academic Exchange Service program. So we have 14 partners in India, and you can have a semester abroad, spend a semester abroad at one of our partner universities in India. But our international office is also very happy to help you to find other international universities where you could spend a semester abroad. And so what is also an interesting feature at Göttingen University, this is not specific to the Center for Modern Indian Studies, is that Göttingen University offers competitive funding of up to 5,000 euros for student research projects. And our students here at the Center for Modern Indian Studies have been extremely successful in securing funding. I think we had more than 14 projects in the last 4 years. One example is on the right side. It was a visual ethnographic project on the Indian general election in 2019. So most of the students who get that funding actually travel to India and do their own little, not little, but you know what I mean, their own research projects, and some of them will also base their master thesis on these projects. So what are the eligibility criteria? If you want to study with us, you need at least 50 credits in a related field. So please note that the title of your BA program is not really of interest to us. The most important thing is that you have 50 credits in a field that is that you can find here. It would be development studies, geography, history, gender or diversity studies, Indian studies, Indology, Islam studies, ethnology, or cultural anthropology, media studies, political science, religious science, and so on. I don't need to read the whole list. And if you want to focus on development economics of India, 30 of these 50 credits that you need in order to be eligible to enroll have to be in economics. So there are no other specific eligibility criteria for the others to study foci, but for development economics of India, it's 30 credits in economics. And you also need to provide proof of proficiency in English. There will be kind of this comprehensive information on our website, so I won't go into detail here. What are the most important deadlines? The application portal opens around the 1st of April and closes on 15 May for the winter intake. We only have a winter intake, so this is the application deadline to keep in mind. You will be notified by around mid-June. This always depends on the number of applications we get. And you need to accept the seat by 31st July, the latest, and enrollment has to be done by 30 September. So please note that we give extensive support to you between the notification and the enrollment. So we have several student assistants who run WhatsApp groups who help you understand the visa issues, further documentation that you might need. We will be happy to provide that. So you will not be left alone in that kind of crunch period where you have to get all the visa issues together. You also need to hopefully get a dorm room here in Göttingen. You need to apply for that, and there will be ample services provided for you to support you. Here are some of our activities. So it's not only studying, but we do a lot of different things. So on the top left, you can see it's a photo of our excursion. We had an excursion to Tamil Nadu in 2017. You see some, the Göttingen is surrounded by nice woods. So we have, walks in the woods. On the top right, you can see a couple of our exchange students at one of the local soccer games, a very typical German activity, go to local soccer games at the weekend. And this in the middle, the photo is an alumni meeting in Delhi in 2018. And the other photos are from a PhD dissertation. So Göttingen has a famous fountain with a little goose girl. And everyone who does their PhD needs to bring her flowers and kiss her goodbye before you leave Göttingen. So on the left side, we have one of our PhD students in development economics, and the right side, one of the students in PhD students in modern Indian history, who's now a professor in the UK. What can I say about Göttingen? It's a very typical German university town. It has 120,000 inhabitants, and a quarter of this are students. So you can imagine it's a very student-oriented city with bars, cafes, very lively cultural scene, and ample sports facilities. And it's situated in the center of Germany, as Georgi mentioned. So Hamburg, Berlin, Munich, and of course also Heidelberg and Lüneburg are easy to reach. This is also possible because with your semester ticket. So you know that there are no tuition fees at the public universities in Germany. You only have to pay a small semester fee at Göttingen, it's around 380 euros. And with this comes a free ticket to use all the public transport in Lower Saxony. So you can go to Hamburg for free. And also a so-called cultural ticket, it's called in Göttingen, which allows you to access to a lot of cultural events, cinemas, theater, concerts and other events beyond pandemic times, of course, for free, off to a very kind of reduced tariff. So, but who could tell better what life is like in Göttingen than our students? So please allow me to quickly play a
Unisport. This is my favorite place to hang around with my friends. Also, this place offers you variety of sports to choose and a lot of flexible and affordable contacts. This is famous among students. Now we will move to city center and we will meet there our two friends. Hey,
Hi, Rohit.
how are you guys?
What's up?
Good, good. How are you?
Where are you coming from?
I'm coming from Fizz.
Ah, okay.
What about you guys?
Oh, we were just sitting here. Like, do you have
Inside.
some plans or do you want to hang out for some time?
I don't have any plans. I won't find.
Let's go get some ice cream.
Yes, ice cream.
All right,
Let's go.
let's go.
What would you guys
Okay.
like to have?
I'll take caramel. Yeah.
Right. I think this is one of the best things about being in Göttingen, that you can walk in the city center and you know, it's a peaceful walk. There is no cycle or, you know, no vehicles, and
I love it. I love going for walks around the city.
city center, yeah. The city center was so lively today, right?
Yeah.
It's so fun to it's just so refreshing.
Right.
Just to take a walk in the city. Like I was at the library.
And you can't help but notice all the international students, and it's a very cosmopolitan crowd.
That's exactly what I really love about Göttingen.
Yeah.
That we have so many international students here.
Right.
And everybody's talking to you in English in my dorm. Like we do that, and it feels like really like home.
Yeah, the world comes to Göttingen.
Exactly. And you can start. I mean, from one place, one side of the city to another side of the city within 30 minutes.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's a small
Exactly.
place.
Yeah,
But
and
it's also so diverse also in many ways.
yeah, like
Exactly.
last night I was at Willy just chilling, and we met like so many people there, and just listening to music. It was so good.
And the best thing is you can access everything. I mean, within a few minutes.
That's also
Right.
good.
Library to city center to shops
Yeah.
and everything.
Yeah, you can walk everywhere, but
Yeah.
like I think everybody has bikes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, I think it was really fun, but
Oh,
I will have to leave now.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay,
okay.
see you around.
Okay, then.
All right, Rohit.
Bye.
See you around.
Bye-bye.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Bye.
Yeah.
So Göttingen is not only a young city, but it also offers you a lot of parks. If you want some time alone, or if you want to read alone, you can just come here and enjoy, read. And if you want to do some picnic with friends or family, you can come here and have a best time. Now we are at Lumiere. Lumiere is a small cinema in Göttingen, and CMIS and Lumiere have very friendly collaboration. Most of the documentaries or films which are to be screened by CMIS, Lumiere screens them, and also Lumiere screens these movies into original languages and with English subtitles. Furthermore, if you want to enjoy or hang out with your friends, you can sit at Café Cabale just next to Lumiere, and you can have a great time. So finally we have arrived at Dots. Dots is one of the many bars in Göttingen, and at Dots you can have delicious bakes, delicious cookies, cafes, and also local beers. Dots also arranges a lot of parties, music events, and concerts. Now our tour ends here, and let's go inside and meet our friends.
Okay, I'll stop here. So if you have any further questions that you didn't write in the Q&A, please contact us. Michael Deckard, our study. I'm happy to write all this in the Q&A, like the contact details. We also currently have Gina, Rohit, and Maithili. Rohit was the protagonist of the film. Maithili is here with us today as our student advisors. And for students from South Asia who are interested in joining CMIS, Göttingen University has an office in Delhi, our India office, and you are also feel free to contact Elizabeth Songate, who is a representative of Göttingen University. Okay, so thank you so much for your attention, and please ask us any questions that you're interested in.
Thank you very much for this very interesting presentation and if all important information. I think that you'll get a lot of questions in terms of some details, and I saw that you already got some, but we'll get back to it towards the end of our webinar. Thanks once again for all the important information. Let me jump into now to our second guest. So let me quickly share with you my screen, dear friends. Yes. So now our second special guest. Now, as I said, we will be moving a little bit around Germany. Now we're going to the south, to Heidelberg. And there, as I said, from Heidelberg University, we have a guest, Marta Rudka, who will be presenting about program MA in Communication and Society in Ibero-America. So you can see that today's topic is quite broad. Today's programs are quite different, I would say, but at the same time, close to each other, but at the same time different. So, yeah, let me now stop sharing my screen and invite Marta to take the floor.
Yes, thank you very much, Georgi. I will see how I can share my screen. Here we go. Can you see my screen?
Yes, great.
Great. Okay. Great. So first of all, hi and welcome to everybody from all around the globe, wherever you are at this point. Yeah, and welcome to the presentation of our master's program at Heidelberg University in Communication and Society in Ibero-America. My name is Marta Rudka. I'm the program coordinator. I will present the program to you, and I'm very happy to answer all your questions in the Q&A session. But also, you're very welcome to contact me afterwards if you're interested in the program, of course. And before we start right away, thanks to the MyGermanUniversity team for the great organization of those webinars, which are always very informative and well organized. So let's just jump right away into the program. I will present to you the program, the master's degree in Communication and Society in Ibero-America. Takes place at Heidelberg University at the Heidelberg Center for Ibero-American Studies. And it's about studying the role of communication and what the role of communication plays in the Ibero-American societies from an interdisciplinary perspective. So it's also a highly interdisciplinary program. And reading the title or hearing the title, you might ask what's behind this program. So first of all, it's a regional studies program because it treats topics that are related to a region, to Ibero-America. Ibero-America for us is all the Spanish and Portuguese speaking countries and all and also in the American continent, but also in Europe, but also all the contact areas, like for example, the US. And secondly, this regional studies program has a strong thematic focus. It focuses on communication and specifically in how communication relates to a social phenomena. So we will see what this is all about in terms of topics of specific courses later on. We see all our program is an interdisciplinary program, so we have different perspectives viewing the same topic. And we have, for example, political science, or we have geography, we have sociology, communication studies. All these disciplines are treating the topic communication and its role in the Ibero-American societies. So we have a very broad variety of disciplines viewing the same topic. All the knowledge you gain is always around the communication and societies in Ibero-America and in all its dimensions. So what are the core topics actually which will be treated in the master's program? It's basically 3 topics which are the fundamental knowledge areas. We treat communication in political and economic spaces. We treat communication and its role for cultures, people, as well as its interrelations with their natural environments. And also a very important part is communication and its social and linguistic dimension. And we also see what effects it has on the public sphere and on information society. So the master's program is structured in the 2 years master's program is structured in 2 sections. In the first half of the studies, we concentrate on the fundamental and methodological competencies. You acquire fundamental knowledge about topics like communication studies, and with a special focus, for example, on media, on Latin American politics, on migration across all the American continent, and also, of course, languages and discourses and how they influence societies, especially. Topics like media science or so-called fake news, as you all know, are very important in this area also. In this part of the studies, you also get methodological competencies. So you get methods as instruments to measure and to evaluate the data in order to get well-founded arguments for how communication influences social phenomena. So you learn about quantitative and qualitative methods. In the second half of the program, you deepen your knowledge. You see the knowledge in from different disciplines, and the disciplines will be converged within this part of the studies program. Here we also have a lot of co-teaching formats. So our teaching staff comes from different disciplinary backgrounds, and you will have classes where, for example, 2 teachers will teach, and they come from one from communication studies and the other from political science, for example. So you get the interdisciplinary point of view within the classroom. We also include a lot of guest lectures from external scientists because the program has a highly international orientation. So we also want international researchers be part of the program right away from the start. So all the classes always include external viewpoints from our partners abroad, especially in Latin America. The second part of the study program also has the very important part in it, the mobility window. In this mobility window, you go abroad, you go to Ibero-America, and you will pass there some time for doing an internship or a research stay. This mobility window is integrated in the 2 years course of the study, so you don't have to count on adding this time to your study time. So it is within the 2 years that you will have this experience abroad. The where and the what exactly you do during this mobility window depends on your choice. You can either choose a research-oriented profile, then you do a research stay at a university, for example, or at a research institute. Or if you choose a more application-oriented profile, you will do an internship in an organization or in a company in order to get insights into possible future professional fields. That can be fields like public communication or political communication agencies, press and media departments, cultural institutions, etc. So all in one, let's sum this up. You gain expert knowledge of the region Ibero-America, that's Latin America, European countries, but also the contact areas, especially the US. You will get highly sensitive to the relationships between communication and society and how communication influences societies. And you also get a strong experience in international research context and in non-academic professional fields. You get this experience in both fields, but you can also choose to profile, to get a special profile in one of those fields. This expert knowledge you can use for careers later on, for example, in international organizations, in NGOs, cultural institutions. You can work in consulting agencies for political communication, public opinion, research institutes, press and media. Or, of course, if you choose the research-oriented profile, you can work at research institutes, like, for example, at universities and further studying communication and its social implications. I guess some of you will be interested also in what you need, what prerequisites you need to study this program. You need an above average undergraduate degree in humanities or social sciences. So we define, this is a very broad definition, definition. We admit all the disciplines from humanities and social sciences for this program. You need a high proficiency in English, at least a C1, and a high proficiency in Spanish, at least a B2. No German is required for this studies. And you can provide the usual known certificates, like the TOEFL, for example, to prove the proficiency. But you can also provide a university entrance qualification if you studied in an English or Spanish-speaking country. University entrance qualification means, for example, A-levels, let's say, or German Abitur, for those of you who know this concept. Exactly, or if you studied an undergraduate degree where you had at least 50% of English or 25% of Spanish classes, then this also approves for us to proving your proficiency in one of those languages. So let's see the basic information about this program. It's a full-time master's program here in Heidelberg at the university. It takes up 2 years, 4 semesters. It's an English and Spanish-speaking language program, so classes will take place in English and Spanish. You also, of course, if you want to, you can choose some classes in German, but that is not required. You get an integrated research stay or internship abroad, who will also accompany you during that. The organization also, when you are abroad, of course, we're always there for you. The study location, as I said, is Heidelberg University here in Germany, in the middle, well, in the south of Germany. And lectures begin always in winter, October. So admission is always for the winter term. And the application deadlines, I guess the audience is more international students. So this is June 15. If there's some interested persons of you with a German undergraduate degree, then you can apply until September 15th. So let me now share a video with you, just as in the presentation before. But I would like for you to get to know the teaching stuff in our master's program. So I will get this video started. I hope I will. I guess I have to get the audio also.
Do you ever wonder if language is a mirror of society? How migration shapes identity, how the Spanish-speaking communities develop across the Americas or Europe? I invite you to join our master's program at the HACIAS. Learn more about communication and societies in Ibero-America.
Are you interested in how environmental changes affect societies in Latin America and the Ibero-American space? What are current environmental and resource policies? What conflicts do arise and why? Or how actors perceive and negotiate the energy transition or sustainability in Ibero-American contexts? Join our master's program and let's talk about politics, inequalities and justice in society-nature relations in Ibero-America.
What is the relationship between power and communication in Ibero-America?
Are you still seeing the video?
Did you ever wonder if language is...
Diasporas develop.
How do our politicians communicate? What is the politics of digital communication in Latin America, and which tools can we use to analyze communication in that region? Join us at the HACIAS and learn about politics and communication in Latin America.
The Americas is a historical space formed and transformed by global migration. What are the geographies of migration across the Americas? What's the relationship between Latin American, Caribbean migration and the US? How Latin American, Caribbean, African and Asian diasporas develop and shape spaces of cultural and political resistance in the US but also across the Americas? And what do these mobilities through the Americas tell us about our present time, marked by reinforced border control, greater inequality and global conflict? Join the master's program at the Hacias, and let's study together the sociopolitical and spatial complexities derived from an interconnected and unequal world in motion.
How are communication and society in Ibero-America connected? How does communication on social media work, and how does it shape our beliefs and behaviors? What are so-called fake news, and how do we react to hate speech online? And linked to that, what kind of individual communication does help to address such phenomena? Join the master's program at the Hacias and learn about communication and how it shapes societies in Ibero-America.
So that was some voices from within the master's program. That's the teaching staff that is expecting you. If you have any further questions, please do not hesitate to ask. We also have a very strong supporting structure for the master's program during the whole course of study, but also before starting the master's program. So if you have any questions, please feel free to ask anything or just write a mail. I will be very happy to attend. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, Martha. And there are already 2 questions which are waiting for you in the Q&A, so you can already address them. That's really great. And yeah, then I will ask some questions towards the end during our live Q&A. And thank you very much for this wonderful presentation, for interesting details. And yeah, that's why you got already some questions there.
Right.
Okay, so let's move now to our third program for today. Just a second. Let me now quickly share with you the screen, dear friends. So, yeah. Yes, our third speaker for today would be Kahl from Leuphana University Lüneburg. So he will present a program in MA Public Economics, Law and Politics. And we are now quite north, closer to me, I would say, because now I'm in Bremen, and we are moving. I am in my familiar space right now, more towards toward the north. I will stop sharing my screen right now, and we'll invite Mats to make his presentation.
Thank you very much, Georgie. I'm going to share my presentation. Yeah, welcome everyone to the presentation of the Master of Arts in Public Economics, Law and Politics at Leuphana University Lüneburg. And thank you very much, MyGermanUniversity, for the possibility to present here and for the invitation. The agenda is I'm going to give the idea of the program and the background. Then as it is an interdisciplinary and transdisciplinary program, I'm going to show what schools are involved. Then we're going to talk about the curriculum. I'm going to present the teaching staff, the career prospects, and finally the entry requirements. And I'm also going to, I'm probably not going to show the video, as this is always kind of difficult, but there are videos online where you can have a look at the campus Leuphana. Yeah, let's start. Lots of questions regarding politics also involve in parts economics and sociology perspectives and also law perspectives. And this master program aims at giving you all the knowledge you need to look at problems in practice from these mainly these 3 perspectives. And then we also have the possibility to you have the possibility to deepen your knowledge in the development theories and policy. Yeah, this master is interdisciplinary, and it involves the School of Public Affairs, the Institute of Economics, the Institute of Political Science, and the Leuphana Law School. I myself am alumnus of this master program, and at the moment PhD candidate in economics and research associate here. And also we work closely together with the Faculty of Sustainability, and you are also going to get the chance to go interdisciplinary with what electives you take, and you also get the possibility to study sustainability in some classes. Let's have a look at the curriculum. You see there, it is a 2-year master program with 4 semesters. In the first semester and the second semester, we have methods classes. Especially in the first semester, we have so-called bridge modules, which I'm going to explain now, and then later on we have the master forums. The bridge modules are created to help you to bridge the knowledge you do not have. Most of the time we have people coming from the politics side, sometimes from the law and economic side, and then obviously they lack some knowledge in the other fields. So usually if you come from the politics side, you get 2 bridge modules assigned depending on your knowledge in law and economics. If you have no knowledge in economics at all, you would get the possibility to do the macroeconomics and microeconomics classes and so on. So if you have an economics background, then you would rather be given to the law classes. So this is the first semester. Then in the first semester also we start to teach methods, especially methods in economics, and there we focus on quantitative methods. And then in the second semester, the method base is broadened to methods of law and politics, also more including quantitative methods. In the third and fourth semester, we support you in preparing and writing your master's dissertation. So you first have the Master Forum 1, which prepares you for the master dissertation by helping you to find a good research question, to find professors who give you advice for your master's dissertation. And then in the second master forum, you get the possibility to present your work in progress in front of the class, and then get valuable comments and discuss the topic, which is very helpful. We also have electives. With the electives, you get the possibility to also focus on one of the 3 disciplines by electing mostly from one discipline, for example, political science. But we also require everyone to take at least, I think, 1 or 2 electives from the other disciplines, or maybe 2 electives you must take from law and economics. From my experience, I found it very helpful to be able to kind of create your own curriculum or influence how the curriculum yourself is created via these electives, and also to kind of deepen your knowledge in specific fields. Furthermore, at Leuphana University, we have so-called integration modules that are modules which are meant to give a perspective from usually 2 fields. The first of these modules is state, market, and civil society. There you're going to have 1 lecturer from the politics side and 1 from the economic side. And they will teach you about similar questions, but from the respective background they come from. And then in the next semester, you have governance, democracy, and public policy, where you will have 1 lecturer from the economic side and 1 from the law side. And they are also going to give answers to similar questions from their respective perspectives. The whole university actually tries to emphasize interdisciplinarity, and that's why we additionally offer this complementary studies. So 2 times you have the possibility to choose a subject from a different field, which must not have anything to do, or may not, with political science, law, or economics. But it could be sustainability science, psychology, or any other field that is to be found here at Leuphana University. There's one quote from Matthias Lund. I think I put it here because I think it really grasps the gist of the whole idea. The complementary studies showed many of us, the students of engineering, business, economics, or cultural studies, all experience very different challenges and approaches to science because we're trained in our subject-specific ways. It can be a real revelation to see how strong our individual patterns of thinking are. So it is really enriching to broaden the perspective and study together with people from completely different backgrounds. Now I'm going to present the teaching stuff, starting with the political science. There we have a team of professors, and I actually put the professors here to also show you where you have, like especially in your master's dissertation, the possibility to deepen your knowledge and to engage with the professors to do research there. For example, we have Davita in comparative political science, then sustainable governance, and political systems, public policy, political theory and policy analysis, international relations. If you come from the international relations background and you want to deepen your knowledge, you can work together with Tobias Lenz, for example, and political culture with Professor Belso. Then in the teaching staff of economics, we have Professor Lise Görges, for example. She does research, especially with respect to gender studies. And then we have Professor Hirsch with policy evaluation, Huth with capital markets, Lamla with all kinds of macroeconomic topics, Professor Mechtel, especially with behavioral economics, Professor Pfeiffer with applied microeconomics and especially labor market and stuff like this, and Professor Wegner, quantitative methods, Professor Wein, especially economic policy. In law, you can also deepen your knowledge with a focus on sustainability with Professor Bäumer, for example, with Professor Dornes in private and economic law, with Professor Hafmeier in private international law, criminal international law, with Professor Smith in economic law and comparative law, and with Professor Ter Hechte in European and international law, for example. What are the career prospects if you have this master? This is a Master of Arts, and after completion of this master, you could work in the political administrative sector, for example, in ministries, international or supranational institutes, institutions and policy consulting, and obviously occupations in the economy and occupations in research, as I did myself and I am doing right now. I also know that some of my friends went to charitable organization after completion of the master, and others for lobbying or other kind of occupations in the economy. Now the entry requirements. You need to hold a bachelor's degree, and if the bachelor is not completed yet, you need to give proof of completion of at least 81% of the credit points. And here we go. And this is about 145 credit points. You need proof of 60 credit points from course-specific modules and the following disciplines, and that's of course political science, law, and economics. So you could have all the 60 credit points in political science or all 60 credit points in economics. That doesn't really matter. And then there's also the possibility, if you have some of the credit points, let's say 50 credit points in political science, and then 10 in some interdisciplinary degree course that consists of political science and something else, such as law and economics, or even something else, then it is still possible to get into the master. Then you obviously need proof of the English language skills. I'm not going to go into it. You can find it on the website. And also online you find videos about how it is to study at the campus University Leuphana. We have a small campus with all the buildings on site and a very modern main building, which we have the latest technology, very nice and modern rooms, and a very nice library. So check it out online. Finally, at a glance, you're going to have a full master degree. With this master degree, which enables you also to apply for PhD programs all over the world. You get 120 credits. It takes usually 2 years. The language is English, as I said. The application deadline is the 1st of June, and we have the German semester time, so we start not in the beginning of September, but beginning of October. There are 40 places, and study abroad is encouraged. I also did this. We have partner universities in Great Britain, and Turkey, and Italy, and Switzerland, in Poland. So lots of very nice partner universities. The semester contribution, it's not a fee, it's more like a contribution, like a student fee, not a tuition fee, is less than 400 euros per semester. If you have further questions, you can always contact Claudia Echelmeier. She is doing the coordination of the program, or of course you can contact me if you have further questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you for this presentation and for all the details you provided to our attendees. And now I would say we can all turn on your cameras and we can jump into our brief Q&A, live Q&A session. And I have some questions for all of you. So let me start, because I've seen lots of questions regarding in the chat regarding the background, acceptable background. So if I did bachelor in this field, can I apply still to this program, or how much of the bachelor should I have done? Is 3-year bachelor enough in this and that field? So many people ask that. So just to voice it up for all the attendees, so that maybe they also have this question, could every one of you somehow address this background issue? For example, is it strict requirement that they should have, like all of you have already mentioned that, but just to once again to make sure that we are all on the same page with our attendees, just to once again to repeat it. And I would like to ask Leuphana first, as they've just finished, to start.
Right. Thank you very much. Yeah, that's a good question, because usually we come from different bachelor's programs and then we deepened our knowledge in some field, and often it's not like straightforward that I studied only political science or only economics. So Leuphana University's approach is to see what you did in your transcript of records, and also to accept interdisciplinary subjects. So you can be sure that if you have contents in political science where it's clear that it belongs to political science, that it is going to count for the admission. If you're not sure, you can also check out the contents taught in political science at Leuphana University. Then you're going to be on the safe side. Same applies for law and economics. But do not hesitate to especially contact Claudia Echelmeier or myself if you have some knowledge in other fields, and then we are trying to help you out there because we do accept interdisciplinary backgrounds.
Great. Thank you very much. Now maybe Heidelberg.
Yes, thanks. Very important question indeed. I guess all the programs represented here have the same issues, let's say, while we see the applications of the students. Also, Heidelberg, our program in Communication Society, has a very broad definition of undergraduate degrees that we accept. Humanities or social sciences, all the disciplines within that count. And this approach is also, especially because we want to have a very heterogeneous students group, as well as our professors. So different backgrounds, disciplinary backgrounds come together in the master's program on both sides. So also for us, do not hesitate to ask, just if you have any doubt, just write an email and we can check the transcript of record and see whether your degree is applicable for, is admissible for the master's program.
Great, thank you very much. So yeah, it's nice to hear this kind of flexibility. It's always, yeah, as you said, it's sometimes you cannot exactly fit into the master's with your bachelor, but it's always good that you can have this flexibility if you have some particular amount of credits that you already qualify, so which is really great. I know this feeling from international students because I also was checking these kind of things. And if Uni Göttingen is still with us, maybe they could also, yeah, great, could also contribute on that.
Yeah, so it's basically that you need 50 credits in either a social science discipline or a humanities discipline. And I mean, CMIS is open to, interdisciplinary work. So it's not that, you've done sociology in your bachelor's, so you have to do sociology in your master's. No, it's yeah, so.
Great. Very good. Thank you very much. Yeah, so the dear attendees, as you can see, it's quite flexible. Just check out, I would suggest also check out the homepages of these three programs, inspect them really closely, and it's always usually quite clearly written what they expect from you in terms of requirements and eligibility. And as you can see, it's quite a flexibility, which is really nice for you. Okay, let me now actually pick up an interesting question that came right now from Isaac, and he asks, I think to all three universities regarding the application procedure. So in terms of whether the application should be sent through UniAssist or to university directly. So let us address maybe this question. So for those who don't know what is UniAssist, to our attendees, this is sometimes that programs process the applications from international students through UniAssist. So it's like a bridge between you and the program, and sometimes you need to do that. If you want to know more about that, you can see our article. But before that, let us maybe ask now, start from Göttingen. So let us start from them. Let's see whether this program requires UniAssist or not.
I think it doesn't. You'll have to apply through the university website, and you can. I mean, specifically, if there's any particular concern about it, like you can write to us on the email. But yeah, it's a direct application for the universities.
Great, thank you very much. Clear question, clear answer. Let's move now to Heidelberg.
Yes, thanks. We also accept applications directly at University of Heidelberg, with the only differentiation in German students or international students with German undergraduate degrees. They can apply directly at our center, at the Heidelberg Center of Ibero-American Studies, and all the other international students apply in the general administration of the university. But in any case, I will assist in all the application processes. So I always recommend, first thing to do, write me an email.
Yeah, great recommendation. I would also recommend that. Great, thank you very much. And now to Mats, please.
Yeah, thank you. I'm not very much into this admission thing because I'm an alumnus and not someone who works in admission, but to the best of my knowledge, all international students outside from Germany can apply via Uni Assist. And those in Germany should check out the German webpage because they may also be able to apply directly at the university.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Let's close this question. And let's address one more question and call it a day, I would say. So yeah, this English language requirement is also always quite interesting for students. So let me ask two questions then in combination. So first of all, we often get questions regarding that, okay, I have completed my degree in English. So my bachelor was fully in English. Do I still have to provide you with TOEFL or IELTS, or I'm exempt from that? So maybe we could address this question. And also very often we get questions regarding the grades or GPA. Is it any particular requirement that you would expect from potential students to have a particular GPA? And now maybe let's start with Marta.
Yes, thanks. No, there's no special requirement beforehand. There's no special GPA. We say an above average undergraduate degree, but we also know that that's quite general, and it always depends on the group, on the students group where you were in. So there's no predefined GPA or something. So again, write me an email. Yeah, you of course need English and Spanish proficiency. That's true. You don't need any German knowledge. You can learn German here if you want, but no prerequisite for the master's program.
And if you've done, for example, your English totally, your bachelor totally in English, you still have to provide certificate. Okay.
No.
No?
If you've done your bachelor's degree in English or also in Spanish, that counts as a certificate for us.
Great, good. This is important. This is important for students, I'm sure. Thank you very much. And let's now move to, let's say, Göttingen. I'm picking up.
So with the English requirement, you need to have the IELTS scores. That's what sort of works for that's the eligibility thing. And about the GPA, I think it doesn't, there's no specific limit, as Marta said, because it's more like you need to have the credits, and your application will sort of be assessed overall. It'll look at, not just your grades, but also your other extracurricular activities and things like that. So, yeah.
Yeah, good, fair enough. Thank you very much. And yeah, please.
At Leuphana University, we accept all kind of tests, the TOEFL, the TOEIC, the IELTS, the Cambridge Advanced Certificate, and have different scores on our websites for all these tests. And furthermore, you do not need any test if you completed modules worth 30 credits solidly taught in English at your university, or if your whole bachelor degree was in English, then this is also accepted.
Great. And for the grade, GPA, is it a specific GPA that you would expect, or it's not any specific one?
No, actually, not to the best of my knowledge.
Okay, great. Yeah, but thank you very much. And if our attendees, of course, would like to get more details about each one of these programs or each of them, of course, please, guys, visit the website, and there you can see up-to-date information. But as you could see, it's quite flexible situation, which is nice for you in terms of English language as well. I also came here without having a need to provide any English certificate, because my program was totally in English. So you can see that it also can work in these 3 cases as well, which is, believe me, it's really great. So, okay. Then let me say thank you very much for everyone who joined us, our attendees, our guests, of course, for these wonderful presentations. Let me show you the, just a second, official thank you page from my side. Thanks everyone for watching, for being with us, for your interesting questions. And of course, as I said, when you have really specific questions, more detailed questions about one of these programs, as you can see, really friendly people, and you can always send them email and they will get back to you as soon as possible. And if you have any other questions, general questions about studying in Germany, we are also quite friendly. I'm friendly, believe me, so I can also get back to you. Send us an email, info@mygermanuniversity.com, or anywhere on our Instagram or Facebook, and we'll get back to you also as soon as possible. And yeah, if you were happy with this webinar, you like this webinar, it also would be nice to get some feedback from you. I already sent direct Google and Facebook links where you can give your feedback to us. And you can also scan this QR code and directly be redirected there for the feedback. And I can see that we have Maithili is raising her hand. You can ask your question if you have, or it was a mistake. Okay, yeah, I think maybe it was a technical issue. All right, so thank you once again, everyone, for joining us. Thank you to the speakers for all the, yeah, please, now I can see you, yeah.
Hi, sorry, I just lost my connection for
No
a
worries.
second. I just saw a question which is asking about admissions to PhD. So, I mean, if in the case of CMIS, you would have to write to the professor, with your topic and see if they are willing to, or they're interested in the topic. So yeah, just in case it was directed for CMIS, I thought I would answer it, even though this is for a master's program, but yeah.
Great, thank you for that. Thank you very much. Yeah, anyone else would like to ask for this question regarding PhDs? Because I see also this question now, it's about, can I get admissions in PhD? So it's quite a general question. So I don't know if it's directed to any particular program, but again, I would suggest you to go to the website of universities maybe, and there you will get better information. Again, everything is open, and Marta is already typing something, so which is really great. Thank you. Yeah, anyways, when you have any questions regarding PhD, also information on this also is provided always on university web pages, and I will suggest you to check it out on a regular basis. So yeah, thank you everyone. Thank you for your activities. Thank you for presentations, and I'm sure that you will see many of these our attendees on your list of your applications in the future. So yeah, have a nice evening to everyone, or morning or afternoon, depending on where you are joining us from. Thank you once again, and bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye. Thanks for hosting.
Thank you.